Hello everyone, welcome to Prince on Air, and we are going to start the chapter number 1, that is some basic concepts of chemistry, class 11th. So without wasting any time, we have to start that chapter, and before that I just want to give some instruction to you for the online studies. Okay, whenever you are studying about any subject, you have to open your notebook and pen also, okay, so that you can note it down all that notes side by side, and it will be more helpful for you because your notes will be your book. Okay, notes will be your book. Yeah, so you have to follow that notes in the proper sense. Side by side you have to follow the books also, but these are your proper sense of learning. Clear? So let's move on that chapter. Today's objectives. Okay, here we will discuss about the introduction of chemistry, then importance and scope of chemistry. Afterwards we will discuss about matter and its classification, or in your NCERT book it is written that nature of matter. Before that I just want to tell you that which books you have to follow. Okay, here which book I am also following to teach you that are firstly NCERT, then NCERT exemplars. Okay, so these two books you have to follow, and your class notes, and afterwards in your board classes we have to follow the previous year question sections. Okay, and afterwards if you want to follow, then you can move on the reference books like Pradeep, Dinesh, or any other if you want to move. Okay, so we have to learn about the matter and its classification in this section, and in NCERT book it is written that nature of matter. Okay, clear? So here, what is chemistry? According to you, what is chemistry? Okay, now that branch of science, see it properly, the branch of science that deals with the composition means that components through which the given compound is made up of, given matter is made up of. Okay, so the through which a given matter is made up of. Okay, composition means like water is made up of hydrogen and oxygen. Okay, so that is its composition. Structure, all of you know that structure, that is geometry. Shape, properties means its behavior. Okay, so whose behavior? Like of matter. So the branch of science that deals with the composition, structure, properties of matter, that is known as chemistry. And in terms of atoms and molecules, it is also known as the science of atoms and molecules. Afterwards, the study of changes occurs around us under the different conditions of maybe of temperature or pressure. Okay, that may be of temperature and pressure, that is considered to be as the chemistry. Okay, clear? Like here, that chemical reaction is going to occur and change is appeared, change of color is appeared, that shows the chemical reaction. Okay, and under the different conditions of temperature and pressure, if we are following the if we are considering, or if we are finding out any change, that will be considered in the branch of chemistry. Okay, which is the branch of further science here. Now importance of chemistry, that is under the scope of chemistry also. See, importance of chemistry. So importance of chemistry, firstly the principles of chemistry are applicable in diverse areas such as weather patterns. Okay, that in which we are using the chemistry, weather patterns, functioning of brains, operation of computers, everywhere chemistry is there. Okay, everywhere chemistry is there. Chemical industries, Okay, fertilizers, alkalis, alkalis means bases. Okay, acids, salts, dyes, polymers, drugs, soaps, detergents, metals, alloys. Okay, alloys, all of you know that mixture of different types of metals. Now for isolation, that is the most important point here. For isolation of life saving drugs from natural sources, okay, from natural sources we are making so many types of medicines. Life saving drugs means medicines here, okay, and makes possible synthesis of such drugs like cisplatin and Taxol. Cisplatin and Taxol. Clear? Cisplatin is this compound and Taxol is this. These both are used for cancer patient. These both medicines are used for cancer patients. And this one is AZT. Okay, what is AZT? AZT is azithromycin. Azithromycin. Clear? Azithromycin used for AIDS victims. AIDS victims. Clear? Clear? So it is used for AIDS victims. Safer alternatives for the environmentally hazardous refrigerants like CFC. CFC, do you know that CFC? CFC, chlorofluorocarbons, okay, which are responsible for the ozone depletion. This is the chemical reaction way through which we can see the how ozone gas get depleted. See, with the radiations of sun rays, the chlorofluorocarbon, this is the chlorofluorocarbon CFC. Okay, this compound is chlorofluorocarbon. It get decomposed and give nascent chlorine. Okay, just single chlorine atom, which is very reactive in nature, and that reactive chlorine will attack on ozone molecule. Ozone means O3. Okay, that is the ozone molecule. It will attack on ozone gas and it will just pick out one oxygen atom from the ozone molecule and it will give oxygen gas. So means that ozone gas get changed into oxygen molecule. Okay, so in this way it get decomposed, or you can say depleted, and through that if the gas is depleted means the layer is depleted, and if the layer is depleted means the harmful radiations of sun will come to the earth's surface. Okay, clear? So matter and its classification. Here we have to discuss about the matter and its classification. Firstly, what is matter? See, what is matter? Anything that has mass and occupies space is called matter. Anything that has mass and occupies space is called matter. For example, book, pen, pencil, water, air, etc. all are considered to be as matter here. Matter can be exist in any three physical states like solid, liquid, gas. Solid, liquid, gas. Here solid particles are very closely packed. Here liquids, these are having some space between them, and here gas, the particles are very far apart. Okay, so that we will discuss in detail in the further section. See, so on the basis of physical properties we have to classify matter into two categories, that is solid, liquid and gas. Solid, liquid and gas. See, what are solids? Okay, this color is for all the girls with that they are thinking that sir is not taking any color which we want, so that is pink color for all girls. Okay, now solids. What are solids? See, the particles are very close to each other in the orderly fashion. Means that particles are very close to each other, in the order fashion. Okay, order fashion. Clear? there is not much freedom of movement of particles, means that if they are having strong force of attraction, okay, they are having strong force of attraction, they will not move to each other, move apart, okay. So means they have not so much freedom to move apart. Solids have definite shape and definite volume. If they are having fixed positions, they can't move up apart. So in that case, they will have definite shape and definite volume. Definite volume, in that sense, you can say they are having definite boundary, unchangeable boundary, okay. The particles of solids have fixed position and can only oscillate about their mean position. Oscillate about their mean position means that particles are just close to each other and just they can fix their position, and here they just can oscillate. Oscillate means you can say they will just vibrate, okay, in their own positions. Like here you can see they are continuously vibrating, okay. So they are having only vibratory motion. Clear? Liquids, in that case I just want to add one more thing, the particles of solids are having less intermolecular space, okay, less intermolecular space. Intermolecular space is that the space between the particle is known as intermolecular space, and very high or you can say large intermolecular force of attraction, okay, they are having large intermolecular force of attraction. This one is the main reason through which you can see that which you can give the reason behind these properties of solids, okay, that is in large intermolecular force of attraction. Now let us move and discuss about the liquids here. What are liquids? So they have definite volume, but not definite shape. They occupy shape of the container in which they are contained, okay. Like I am having that container, two containers I am having here. If that liquid I'm going, if I'm going to put that liquid into this chamber, okay, this container, it will occupy that shape, okay, it will occupy that space in which is there in the container, and afterwards if I'm going to put that liquid into this container, the change there will be change occur in the shape of the liquid, okay, means they will change the shape of their self by moving their self into the another containers, okay. So you can say that they are having definite volume as usual, that volume should be the same, but they will not have the definite shape, okay. They will occupy that shape which in which they are contained, okay, clear. And they are having weak forces of attraction, due to that they can flow easily, clear. Like here you can see how that particles are moving, clear. Now let us discuss about the gas. What are gas particles? The gas particles, they are neither have fixed shape nor fixed volume. They have very large intermolecular space. They have very weak intermolecular forces of attraction. The reason is weak intermolecular forces of attraction, due to which they can move easily, okay. They can move easily means they are not having fixed shape, fixed volume, and they are having large intermolecular space, okay. And you can say that they can move freely, okay, clear. Now interconversion of states of matter means these states can be interconvertible to each other. Like here liquid can be converted into gas, that liquid can be converted into gas by just giving the heat to the liquid, okay, and that process is known as vaporization. Clear? And if we are moving if we are converting gas into the liquid, we have to reduce the temperature, or you can say we have to condense that gas molecules. That process is known as condensation. If solid is going to into the liquid state, we have to give some heat to the solid, and that melting occurs. That process is known as fusion or melting. And if liquid is converted into solid, means we have to do the freezing process, and that is also known as solidification, okay. And if you just directly convert solid into gas, that process is known as sublimation. And similarly, gas into solid, it is also known as sublimation, and somewhere some other words are also used in your different types of books. Clear? Clear? Now we have to discuss at the macroscopic level. Matter can be classified as the two sections, that is pure substance and mixture. Pure substance and mixture. See, matter is further classified. Firstly, we have done the classification on the basis of physical properties, or you can say that it is also known as physical classification. Now it is also known as the chemical classification, okay. It is also known as chemical classification, or the bulk level we have to or macroscopic level we have to classify the matter into these sections. Firstly, we have discussed the definition of matter here, that occupies space and possess mass, that may be solid, liquid or gas. Now this is divided into two sections. First one is pure substance, second one is mixture. Now what are pure substance? Matter having an invariant chemical composition and distinct properties, means they are having the pure composition, pure material, pure same type of properties, okay. Like here I am having the solid of iron, that is purely made up of atoms of iron, okay. That all particles are having same type of properties, same type of structures, okay, same type of compositions, so that are considered to be as pure substance. If I am having a glass of water, and that water molecules, okay, that water molecules are to be having same composition, okay, so that are also considered to be as pure substance. These pure substance we will discuss in later on. Here we have that mixture, okay. What are mixture here? Mixtures are consisting two or more pure substances that retain their individual identities, can be separated by physical methods. Means if we are mixing two or more pure substances and they are having their own identity into the mixture, okay, that is into the given substance, that outcome, that is known as mixture, okay. And that can be separated with the help of some physical methods, that may be hand picking, okay, distillation, filtration. So many physical methods are there through which we can separate them always, okay. And these are of two types, that is of homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixture. Homogeneous mixture are those mixtures which are having uniform composition and properties throughout. Means if I am having that glass of water here, okay, and if I am going to put NaCl, sugar, lemon juice, it will form a mixture, okay, it will form a mixture, but we can't see where is the sugar molecules, where is the NaCl particles, where is the lemon juice molecules, where is the water molecules, okay. We can't see it properly with their naked eyes, okay. So that will be the known as the mixture which is homogeneous in nature, and they are having uniform composition and the properties throughout. Clear? They are not having separating layer through which we can identify that these particles are different, these particles are different, okay. In heterogeneous mixture, the mixtures are not uniform in composition and the properties throughout, Okay, means they are having the separate layer. For example, in the water molecules, if I am having some oil layers over it, okay, that oil layers or oil drops, that will form a separate boundary from the water. They will not mix into the water in proper sense. Okay, so they will show the separate boundary, and in that case, they will form the heterogeneous mixture. Clear? Is it clear now? Now here we have that elements and compounds. See, elements and compounds. The fundamental substance that cannot be separated into the simpler substance by chemical methods. Like here I have given that example. You can take one more example, that a bar of copper that is made up of copper atoms. Okay, copper atoms, that all are of copper atoms. These are made up of same type of atom. If I am going to cut it, I will get only copper atom, means they cannot be separated in the forms, or you can say they cannot be broken up, or they cannot be separated into the simpler substances. If I want to make the copper, and if I am going to cut it, if I want to take out the carbon atoms or some other atoms from it, that is not possible here. Okay, so means that elements are those substances in which they cannot be separated in the proper manner, okay, or into the simpler substances by any chemical methods. Okay, some other techniques are also available through which we can take out all other elements from the given element. Now compounds are the substance composed of two or more elements in fixed proportion, can be separated into simpler substances and elements only by chemical methods. Okay, these are made by the chemical methods, by like H2O. I have given that example. No? Hydrogen and oxygen are having fixed ratio by mass composition. Okay, so in that way the compound definition is cleared. Clear? Now let us discuss about the element consists of only one type of particles, may be of atoms and molecules. Okay, see here we have that atoms. Now I will give you the definition of atoms. You have to write on your notebook also, write side by side. What is atom? It is the smallest unit of particle of, you can say, where is that? Yeah, it is the smallest unit of matter that may or may not exist independently. Okay, clear? Atoms may have independent existence or may not have independent existence. Clear? The example of atoms, like here I have given that aluminium, copper, zinc, anywhere you can take that, hydrogen. Okay, in the molecular form they are having, but like here these are the subatomic particles which are rotating here, and the electrons are revolving around the nucleus. So here that subatomic particles of atom, proton and neutron, and the revolving particles around this center, that are considered to be as electrons. So there are three subatomic particles of atom, that are electron, proton and neutron. Now molecules, in molecules the particles are joined together, means the two or more than two atoms joined together to form a molecule, which will have always independent existence. Okay, so the definition of a molecule will be like here. The unit particle of matter which have independent existence. Clear? Which will have independent existence, like it may be a unimolecular, sorry, uniatomic, or you can say single atomic. Clear? Diatomic, like here hydrogen, oxygen, chlorine. Triatomic, like ozone. Okay, polyatomic, like sulfur. Tetraatomic, like phosphorus. Okay, so many particles are there which are considered to be as the molecules. Okay, is it clear now? So let's move. Like here, compounds, as we have discussed that compounds are the pure substance that contains two or more different elements in the fixed proportion by mass. Okay, so this is the compound, like water molecules, how that water molecules are rotating. This is a molecule of methane. Okay, that central black ball is the carbon atom, and all the white balls are considered to be as the hydrogen atoms. Okay, so this is a molecule of methane, this is water, and see, you can say that see the so many molecules like here, they are having different type of atoms joined together in the different or you can say that in the fixed proportion by mass. Clear? Is it clear now? Huh? So that's it for the first class here, and is there any doubt, you can ask with your doubt session also, and we will do the better in the further lectures, and you have to follow the instruction that we are providing you. Okay, and one more thing I just want to repeat once again, make your notes in the proper way, make your notes in the proper way, and stay at home, stay safe, keep studying, keep motivated. Okay, so thanks for watching this video, see you again.